Hi, this is Vi from Scrapinmaniac, and today I want to show you what I found at Michael's. I found these Jane Davenport faces, and these are stamps. I love this. They had a whole end cap full of her stuff. She had watercolors, she had papers, she had a lot of things there for Jane Davenport. And I really love this artist. I have her book. This is her book that I've been using, and I really love this book. And I think I got this at Joann's, because Michael's, these books at Michael's, they don't use the coupon. You cannot use a coupon. But at Joann's, if you find it at Joann's, which I did, you can get a coupon. And I found this in the paint section at my local Joann's. But then I found the stamps and other things, Jane Davenport, at my Michael's. And I already used this face. This face is huge. It's actually this one. So I used it to make this doll. But I want to go ahead and use this face and create a doll for this episode of Scrapping Therapy. So you're going to have to use some archival ink if you're going to use watercolors. But that's what I'm using, watercolor paints. And these are some of my Sheen Hand watercolor paints. I put them in these cheap little palette. And I do have a video of how I got these. I made a palette for my daughter. I bought her these paints at Amazon because she's starting to do watercolors. And there was a little bit left on the tube, so I decided to get this little $1 baby wipe holders. And I just squirted the leftovers in there. And I've done quite amount of different paintings. I've done a lot of paintings with that little bit. I created this big old stamping tool with a plastic cover for my mixed media albums, because that way I have a little more leeway to bend this. So let's go ahead and see how well this works. I haven't been using it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my book here. Let me go ahead and clean this so I don't have any edges. And then let me see where I want it. I think I may want it there. Pick it up. It's just big. So I'm just sorry that I'm off screen, but it's kind of hard to have this big old tool here. So let's see. Okay, and I'm going to do it again. Oh, nice and dark. Let's do it one more time. I want to make sure it's nice and dark. And because it's a little flexible, you got to be careful. Cool. It came out pretty nice. Now for the eyes. Let's see which one I want to use. These eyes are a little too big, I think. But I'm going to go ahead and use those. And actually, let's go ahead and just get the whole eye, nose. So you get a set of eyes. Then you get a nose. I'll use a tiny little nose. Well, maybe not that nose. Let's see, which nose do I want? I'll try this nose. And then the mouth. Let's do a pouty mouth. I like this one. And actually, I should do this last. We should do the eyes and the nose black. And maybe I should do the mouth red. And then it needs another stamp. You may need to stamp it again. Perfect. And one more. This one needs a little more stamping. So let me concentrate on that one. Perfect. See how this really works. I do like this stamping tool. I do have the video how I created this. It was basically wood. And is this wood? No, it's actually foam. It's not even wood. I use foam, those poster foam. No, it's actually wood. It is wood in the on the bottom. So now let's do the mouth. And for that one, let me pull some red. If I have some red ink, let's see. Yes, I do. How about fire brick? Is what I have handy. Okay. So I'm going to put this back. Put my image back. Get this out of the way. And then now I'm going to cover my ink pad. I'm going to put this out. Put it back in storage. So I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video. I hope you don't mind because this is a long video. But one of the things that after I stamped her, I just realized that the top of her hairline has a really dark color. So I should have just stamped it the lower portion of the face instead of the whole face. So that way it wouldn't show. But then what I'm fixing it with some absorbent ground. So I receded that line to the background. And maybe you could use distressing ink because that will react with water and blend in. But yeah, I should have just not used the archival black ink for the whole face. Now, because I did use archival black ink to stamp the face, I'm going to go over it with my Sharpie. And that really made everything pop. So that really worked. And now I'm going to go ahead and use this skin tone palette. I created a skin tone palette using a skin tone recipe, and that's what I usually use for my mixed media faces. I use this palette if I can. I do have some face tone or the Julie Nutting watercolor pencils that are for skin and hair tones. And I do have another set from I forget the name of that, Spectra Noir, sorry. I do have another watercolor pencil set from Spectra Noir, and that one's also skin tone. So I do have two sets of watercolor skin tone pencils, but I really like to have it in the watercolor paint format, so that's why I created that skin tone palette using a recipe book. And I'll put the link of the recipe book, and it's recommended by the Art Sherpa. And I got both of the books she recommended on how to mix colors and a recipe color. and you get it at Amazon, and I'll put the link for that. So now I just wanted some nice bright colors in the background, so I went ahead and used these green, blue, and red, and I like how that red in her hair really popped, so I really love how that looked. So I want to go ahead and dry it real good before I go to the next treatment. And I'm going to go ahead and bring up some gesso because I wanted to have some white streaks, just some distressing white gesso streaks, and then I'm drying that out. And then after this, once you want to dry between your layers, so that way you don't move the colors. So then here I'm just using a wire stamp and putting a little background, and I'm also using another grungy stamp that I bought some time ago to give it a little bit of background because I want a grungy look. And I went ahead and pulled this Tim Holt stencil, and it's like coffee stain stencil, and I use some distressing ink, and I think that's walnut ink that I use there. And then I decided that I wanted to use some of this green paste that I got on sale, and I grabbed another stencil from Tim Holt. I really love this stencil that he has, and I'll put the link to all the material that I used in the description below. So I went ahead and put some green, and that green, and the reason why I picked green, that lime green, because it really popped with her red hair and her blue eyes. Is just the colors just mix so nicely together. So then I just wanted to put a saying around her, and I was practicing my calligraphy. This is a calligraphy or brush pen that I'm using, or a brush marker, and I'm just practicing my brush strokes. Okay, I'm done with this page. Oh, I should date it. So let me go ahead and date this. Today is January 10th, 17. So I'm done with this page, so I hope you like it. And these are the new stamps. Oops, got that one. This one. These are the new stamps from Jane Davenport at your local Michael's. They're very nice stamps. I do like it. Now I do recommend that because she did create the whole head here, if you're going to put a hairline or whatnot, unless you paper piece. If you paper piece the hair, there's no big deal. Or if you use acrylic, it's no big deal. But I do recommend that not use what I use, like archival ink. Use a distressing ink to stamp her. Maybe, I think it would have been nicer too if the oval would have been a different stamp, and then you can do the eyebrows and things like that. So I could have stamped the oval, distressing ink, and then the eyebrows could have been from using archival, and the other features could have been archival. But I'm going to keep playing with these stamps, but I do like them. So I hope you like this video, and thank you for watching. Bye now.